Hi everybody, this is Ros from North Mayo Fine Art. Today I'm going to be working on this section here, which is the last bit of leaf at this bottom centre section. And there's various colours in this section here. There's a mixtures of browns and tans and greens and creams. So I'm going to start at the top area here. Now as you can see, the pencil lines are still there from when I was actually mapping everything out, but I don't want them to be so pronounced or wait until I've actually coloured it in. So I'm going to use my pencil eraser and I'm just going to lighten them up so I can still just about see them, but they won't actually get in the way when I'm colouring. So I'll just very quickly just brush over them with my pencil eraser, so that I can just about still see them, but once the colour's actually down, they'll disappear. Get my trusty brush and just dust everything off. And a small bit more there. Now, there we go. So now we're going to start on the very light tones again. So I'm going to start with my Prismacolor Light Peach this time. And at the minute I'm just working on this very top area just here. So I'm going to actually draw a line where that pencil line was with the peach, just to define the area a little bit more so I know exactly where I'm working. Now this will all blend in anyway, so it doesn't make any difference at all that I'm drawing that line. And I will now start to block in the colour of this area, working small circular motions. Very light hand, no pressure at all, just to get some colour down, like so. And once I've done the first bit, I'll go over then with my blending stump. This really is just to make sure that every single little bit of the white of the paper is actually now completely covered with colour. So now I've done that bit, I'll move on to a slightly darker shade, which is my beige. Again, it's a Prismacolor, and I can see from my reference photo that this top corner here is darker. It comes up to just about there, and then it goes off in that direction, like so. And then this whole area here again is darker, so I shall put some colour down on here. I apologise if you can hear any noises in the background. We're in the middle of a hailstorm. So just continue along, go right up to the edge of that upper leaf, and just down in this very bottom corner here of the leaf, again it's darker, so I'll just put a small little bit of colour down there, and it's back to the blending stump, like so. Now I don't at the minute need a very harsh edge. I just need to block the colours in and know where the colours are going to actually be. But now I've finished that area, I am now going to move on to my next colour, which is a Polychromos pencil this time, and it's burnt ochre. So again, I'm going to follow the general lines of where this colour needs to be. And I want to make sure this edge here stays nice and sharp, because this edge is the edge of the leaf, and I want there to be good definition between the leaf itself and the background. So again, just working right up to the edge of the upper leaf. and down this line. Now this line isn't completely straight because it's a shadow and because the leaf has shape to it. This line isn't completely straight, and I don't want it to look completely straight because it won't look real. And my aim is always to try and achieve photorealism. So keep moving along like this. I am going to do a full welcome video in the next day or so, introducing myself all to you properly, for anybody that doesn't know me yet. I just need to pluck up the courage to actually be in front of the camera rather than behind it. Now, just need to add a very small bit of this down here at this bottom edge, like so. And I can see that there is an ever slightly peachy pinky colour on this light area here. So I'll add a small bit of that to it now, and then I can blend it whilst I'm blending the ochre colour. So again, using my blending stump, I want to keep that line nice and straight there, so I won't blend in a circular motion right at the very, very edge, because you run the risk then of actually blending it into the background. So there we go. And then I'm just going to dab the pinky peachy colour because that will blend it, but again I don't want it actually blending into the brown. Now I need to move on to a slightly darker shade again. This time it's burnt ochre. Nope, it's not burnt ochre. This time it is sanguine. So I want to sort out my edge straight away, so there's no chance I can actually go over it, like so. And then work up to this edge. And then I want this inner portion here to actually be slightly lighter than the very, very edges. So I'm straightening that line out there. But when I actually come round to this area, I'm actually going even lighter. I'm using an even lighter hand. I only want a touch of the colour on this area. Hardly anything at all. So. But it's darkening up. There's actually a line of the very darkest colour going from there up to around about there on my reference photo. So I'll put that in now. But the rest of this is actually fairly light compared to that particular line. So go around in circles. Again, as I've said before, and you'll hear me constantly say throughout my videos, I am constantly looking at the reference photo. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but it needs to be a close representation of the reference photo. So I always look at it and make sure. It's the same with animal fur. You have to make sure that your pencil marks are actually going in the direction of, for animals, the fur. For things like the leaves that are in focus, you need to be making sure your pencil strokes go in the direction of any veins or any lines that are actually on the leaves. So now I've got that colour down, I'm going to blend that in. If I can find my blending stump. There we go. And again, because that's right up at the edge and I want that line to stay nice and straight, I'll just pull the colour in there rather than going in circular motions. But the rest of this, I'll go in circular motions again. And that little area there. Now, Now I'm going to bring a small bit of grey in just to darken it up, because this darkest portion here is actually in shadow and I want to make sure it looks like it's in shadow. So for this I'm using the Prismacolor 50% French Grey. I love this colour, it's perfect for so many different things. So I'm just adding just a small hint of this, just at the very, very edges of this dark area, because I want to make sure it looks like it is in shadow. But I don't want a harsh line. I want it all to look like it's just perfectly even. Like that. And then we'll come up to here and we'll do the same thing down this line. And I've noticed on the reference photo that there are actually some vertical lines going down this leaf with the grain of the leaf. So I want to try and just follow those, make sure I'm going in the right direction and make sure that these lines are where they, more or less where they should be. They don't have to be absolutely perfect. You don't have to get a ruler and make sure that they're exactly where they would be on the reference photo. As long as it's close, it's absolutely fine. Another thing to realise is when you're actually working with a reference photo is that unless you show people the reference photo, they're not going to see it. So even if a vein is a couple of millimetres away from where it looks like it is on the reference photo, it's not the end of the world. Now I'm just going to come back over with a bit more of this sanguine, because I just want to brighten this area up ever so slightly and make the colour look richer. But again, I'm following the lines of the veins this time. And I actually need just a small bit of, I'm going to use Canary Yellow, which again is a Prismacolor pencil. Just brighten this area up just a touch more. I've only recently started using Prismacolors, but I absolutely love them. The way that they blend together without the need actually for blending stumps. They are so creamy that they actually blend together perfectly themselves as you're putting them down. Now I am going to carry on with this area of leaf and I shall come back to you in a while to show you where I've got to. If you're interested in seeing any more of my work, I am on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Twitter. Just search for North Mayo Fine Art and you'll find me. Okay, thanks for watching.